Hey, I'm David Ellison from Megadeth, and we are here in Warsaw, Poland for the first ever Big Four concert, first ever on the planet. Tonight took us about almost 30 years to do this, but it's Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Anthrax tonight for the first time ever on the same stage. We just finished playing our show. It was fantastic. I'm hearing numbers of like 100,000 people out there, which kind of reminds me of the original Castle Donington days, where you're on a flat track or something and there's people farther than your eye can see. So we had a wonderful set. Slayer's on stage right now. Metallica will be coming up shortly. Anthrax killed it. It sounded great. Joey Belladonna back in the band was awesome. Usually what happens on these big events and these big tours is you get together, you show up the first day, everybody's coming from different places, you're fragmented, you get on stage, you play, and then, you know, on you go to the next city and you randomly run into each other, you do random introductions, and even though we all know each other, usually that thing that we did last night ends up at the end of the tour and you go, oh man, sorry we didn't get to spend more time together, and you know, and then they're kind of reliving memories. And what was cool about last night, which was really, you know, a class way to do it, is we all got together, no instruments, nothing, and I mean basically we all sat around and talked about our families and our kids and what schools they go to, and you know, and because we've all talked about our music for years. So it was really just a great way to just break bread, sit down, and just very relaxed, very comfortable. It wasn't like a big thing where someone was in charge or leading it. It was just a great casual way to kind of ease into today. So today when we show up, we've all seen each other, we've hung out, and we're all friendly faces ready to come in here and kick some ass. We basically played our Rust in Peace album, almost. We had one song that we didn't play in there, but we wanted to play that for the fans, since that's the fan favorite album it seems like this year. And then we threw in some classics for the fans. So it was a great way to wrap it up. It's a great feeling out here. All the bands are watching all the other bands. Well, it's funny with Sudden Death, which is going to be on the new Guitar Hero 6 game, is when I came back to Megadeth in early February, I drove over to California. We did a quick jam through some tunes. It sounded great, and basically Dave and I hugged and said, I'm in, let's go, you know. And he said, awesome, well tomorrow I want you to record a bass part on this new song we're doing. And it was complicated. It was kind of just a skeleton of an arrangement at that time. And but I put some bass on it, and I was like, one thing when Dave and I play together, it sounds like Megadeth. I mean, like that. It was like, okay, that definitely sounds like a new Megadeth track, which was exciting for both of us. But then as we went through the arrangements and we tweaked a few things, and Dave kept going back, and Dave and Chris were always going in, recording more and more guitars and doing more and more stuff. And it just kept getting gnarlier and more complicated. So, which was awesome, because he and Chris Broderick just kept making it as insane as they possibly could. So it's definitely a player's track. As far as what's coming up next for Megadeth, I mean, we got obviously a lot of touring coming up here. As soon as we've got these Big Four shows, we've got actually doing some other headlining and festival shows through mid-July here in Europe. And then we go back to the United States and we start up the American Carnage Tour with Slayer, Megadeth, and Testament. And then even after that, now there's talk of a bunch of other things coming down the pike that, so it looks like we're busy certainly through the end of the year.